My guest today could have been a Division I college athlete. He could have been a decorated war veteran. He could have been a star on SNL. But instead, he went after the Chinese, and now he's talking with me on YouTube. It's my good friend, Shane Gillis. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, thanks, man.
What's going on? So we were just talking before the show, and it seems, honestly, I don't believe you're in Arizona. I think this was all a tease because I've been trying to get you on the show forever. And finally, it was just an excuse because so many people are traveling right now that it's an obvious go-to
Yeah.
excuse. You're definitely in Arizona, right?
You thought I was lying? No, yeah, I'm in Doug Stanhope's compound in Arizona right now, which is why the room I'm in is fucking lime green. Everything here is painted insane. Yeah, it's awesome. Stanhope's
What
man.
Are you friends with Stanhope? What are you doing?
Yeah, we're kind of friends, but yeah, I mean, he was just like, yeah, but me and him both drink a little, so he was like, we would get drunk, and while we were talking, he was like, well, why don't you fucking come out here? Because I was telling him how I had nowhere to really go. I was stuck between fucking New York City and my parents' house, but my parents are geezers, and my sister has cancer, so I didn't want to bring anything in there.
All right, way to start it on a downer. I appreciate that. Stanhope seems like a guy. Stanhope seems like a guy that could either be really fun to be quarantined with or fucking miserable, depending on how it goes.
Yeah, it's usually in the morning. It feels miserable.
Yeah.
And then you have one or two drinks. You're like, all right, this is the best guy in the world to be with. No, he's great. He's actually like one of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
Really? Yeah. He I emailed his website to try and get him on when he was in Boston at one point. And I figured I would just get like kind of a generic response from a manager or something. And the reply I got was something to the effect of, sorry, man, but I'm just getting the fuck out of there right after the show. I was like, oh, is this actually Doug Stanhope replying to me? So He seems like a down-to-earth guy.
No, he is. He's really cool. Yeah, he's funny. What's up with you guys? What's going on with the show? Are you guys taking on the globe?
Oh, it's a fucking madness. Actually, I walked off the show today, so I may not even have a job. This may never come out, Shane. I fucking stormed off the show earlier.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. It was a contentious show. It was like a weird mood. Kirk was pissed off about something else. And then later in the show,
sorry to cut you off. I've listened to a couple episodes, and Kirk seems like the guy who he seems like the type of guy who could be a little country.
Yeah, you don't want to cross him because he's a lot smarter than me, and he's a lot better at just radio than me. So he really knows how to fuck with me. So it's very intimidating. And then today,
I bet, man.
We got into it today a little bit. Not real. It was very mild. But I said, "What do you want me to fucking leave?" He goes, "Yeah, leave." So I didn't know what to do, so I just got up and left. And I actually am blind. I don't know if you know that or not. But I
had a feeling.
Yeah. So I got to the realization, like I just stormed out, and then I realized I'm standing on the sidewalk. I don't have a ride. So it's like that moment where you storm out and have nowhere to go, and I'm just like texting people for a ride.
A blind guy standing on the side of the road.
It's a sad image. And the worst part is the mailman, our mailman for our building is a fan of the show. So anytime he sees us, he's throwing out show references and shit. Yeah, and today I'm just standing out there uncomfortably. Don't even know if I have a job still. And he's like, "Hey, buddy, checking out the show right now." I'm like, "Okay, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, you'll find out.
Yeah.
What was the fight about?
That's the weird thing. It was about nothing really. We were talking. I stepped on a joke or something because I asked we were fucking with Steve, the producer.
Yeah.
And I just asked a follow-up question, but I guess I ruined the joke or the flow or something like that. And Kirk was like, "Well, why would you ask that? Don't you see that kind of?" I was like, "I don't know. We're just having a conversation. It was just a back and forth."
Yeah.
And then I said, "I'm just trying to contribute." And he goes, "You don't, but you don't really." So it was just, I got very sensitive, and I said, "Well, you don't think I contribute? Then maybe I should leave." And he goes, "You should leave." And then I just left. So we're children, Shane.
Well, he's not going to fire you for that.
No, we'll see.
I don't think.
No, I don't think.
So.
I've done much worse.
I would like him a lot if he did.
You would appreciate that.
If he actually fired you just in the middle of the show, was like, "I don't know why the fuck you're here." And you're like, "Maybe I should leave." He's like, "All right, you're fired." That would be pretty awesome.
We're on the verge of that pretty much every day. It's a tightrope I'm walking, and it's been interesting. Like, I think every day there's a point during the show where he thinks, "Why the fuck is this guy here? Like, I should just fire him."
Really? I thought you were an
More.
asset. You seem like an asset to the show, though. You seem like a lot of people seem to like you.
That's why he doesn't. A lot of people say, Shane, you got to listen. Listen to a few more. Maybe you haven't listened recently. A lot of people really dislike me.
What, the fans don't like you?
No, not at all. In fact, I'm not. I'm not even allowed. I'm not even allowed. The company doesn't like me. I'm not even allowed to mention them. No one likes me. Shit.
Why doesn't the company like you?
The big boss doesn't like me.
Is it because you? Why? What'd you do?
I don't even. I prank called Mike Francesa.
And that's
it. Yeah, and that's honestly, yeah, that's basically it. Like that's more or less it. Maybe that's proof I haven't learned my lesson. But that's pretty much it. It turned into a whole thing. Yeah.
Well, wait, aren't you kind of like? All right, so you defended me quite a bit, and I do appreciate that. I did hear some of that. Oh, and the reason I wasn't coming on shit is because I hate doing remote anything.
Oh yeah,
like remote interviews like this suck. So anytime like a podcast would ask me or something would ask me to come on, I'd say no, because I knew I'd be in Boston. I knew I was coming to Boston soon. I was going to do you guys shit there if I could.
No, I mean I was fucking with you when we started. There's no reason you had to come on or anything. But yeah, no, I would have rather done it that way.
No,
too,
I still appreciate it
because we were in New York. I think when around the time that happened, I think we were in New York.
Oh really?
So it might have worked out there. And then I saw you were coming to Boston. But obviously, all this shit happened, so it just never ended up quite working out. So yeah, no, I would have rather done it in person too. But how are you guys doing with all that shit? Because obviously Matt's not with you in Arizona. I assume. So how are you guys doing the podcast? I mean, I've seen how you're doing it, but how's it going?
It's going well. I like it a lot. I'm excited. The thing that sucks is we just built a studio, so we were about to have like a nice fucking studio set up in Philly, but. Yeah, we're just doing it remotely, and it's all right. It's kind of fun. It's nice that you can get a lot of guests that you otherwise wouldn't have. Because, like I said, we would never do like a Skype in with a guest ever. Yeah. So now we can get cool guests.
But you guys don't have guests that often though, or do you?
No, not really. I'd say, I mean, if the guest count is like guys that are in our kind of universe.
Yeah, I've heard like Nick Mullen on there and shit like that.
Yeah. No, we usually don't get like major guests. Yeah.
How's it been since? I mean, I haven't noticed a tremendous difference, but are there times where you're afraid to do the show the way you were doing it before, like the way that obviously got you in trouble?
Yeah. I'm starting to get out of that again. I mean, I'm starting to get back to my just not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
It took a little bit because that fucks me up. So wait, you're allowed to swear on this, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've probably been swearing the whole time. Sorry, I'm out of it, dude. Fucking
it's all good. Don't worry.
Yeah. Stanhope gave me a sleeping pill last night, and it fucked me up.
Like Ambien or something?
Yeah, kind of like an Ambien. I forget what it's called.
That's great. Give the fucking SNL guy the Roseanne treatment. That's smart of Stanhope.
I know.
He's looking out for you out there.
I was genuinely afraid of it. Like when I took it, I was like, damn, dude, what if I just tweet the N-word?
Here's another thing about the Chinese. Here's something I didn't get off my chest back then.
Yeah, but I never took a sleeping pill ever. They really fuck you up. Like it's 2:00 here, and I'm still very, very tired.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know you guys have a much different schedule. I don't know what it's like now with the quarantine and everything, but when I was genuinely, when you said the later the better, I was kind of hesitant to even say like 5:00. I was like, is that? I genuinely don't know if that's going to be all right or not.
What, like waking up? Yeah.
Yeah.
5's okay.
5 out here.
Yeah, 5 out here. So yeah, that means 2:00 here. 2:00's all right. If all I have to do is get up and get to a fucking computer, I'm fine.
Yeah.
This is Doug's. It's crazy, dude. The way they live down. They have like a compound out here in the desert.
Yeah, it's Bisbee or something, right? Isn't there like 4,000 people there?
Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking cool town though. It's like an old mining town. It's really, really cool.
How long are you gonna? Do you have any plan? How long are you gonna be there for? I got it. I breezed it.
Yeah.
I don't see.
I'm sure you're used to that type of thing. No, you can see a little though.
I can see a little. The real handicap that I deal with is that every time I use the word see, like if I say I saw, I think I tweeted the other day, like I just saw the last episode of Better Call Saul, and every fucking asshole reply, "Did you see it? Did you see it, Mike?" And it's like, okay,
did you really?
I got it. I fucking got it.
Can I see you without the glasses? Is that acceptable?
Of course.
Oh, all right. You look
fairly normal. This eye like is a little.
He's doing his own thing a little.
Little bit.
He's
But what are you
out.
gonna do? That's
He's
why I wear
out.
the shades. I try not to give them
It's
too much
hard.
ammo.
No, that's nothing. The shades do look cool. You're like not fully blind though, right?
No, I'm what they call legally blind, so I can't
I've seen you.
drive.
Yeah, I've seen
I
you on
can
the
walk
internet.
around, not great, but
How long has that been? Your whole life?
whole life it's gotten worse over the years. Like when I
Yeah.
started, even like I don't know if you saw any videos from like when I was an intern where I'm at the batting cages and all that type of shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I see
saw that.
worse now than then. That was probably
Okay.
5 years ago, maybe. So yeah, it's gotten progressively worse, but we'll see.
Oh, I think what got us to we were talking for a second about why people don't like you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you started with I think you defended me, and
Yep.
so that tells me you're a bit of a.
I'm a loose cannon. I'm a wild card. I'm a
Are you
real
like
wacky guy.
Are you like a free speech guy?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You like Trump?
That's how it'd be characterized. Yeah.
Do you like Donald Trump?
Honestly,
allowed. I mean, you're
I'm
allowed.
probably. I don't know what your actual stance is, but I'm probably like you, where I more
Yeah.
find it funny people's
Yeah.
reaction to him. Like I've kind of gotten to the point where I didn't vote for him, but I almost root for him just because it annoys everyone.
That's it.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I feel that that's a pretty funny, rational way to view it.
Right.
It's
Like
just
yeah.
because I
The
do hate.
The Trump people annoy me just as much as the
Yeah,
anti-Trump people because the Trump people are just as sensitive if you go after Trump.
yeah. Oh, they really are. I was actually just talking about that with Stanhope about like he was asking because he does the road and it's mostly his fans. It's his fans anywhere he goes, and I'm like, because he was talking to me today about who's sensitive and all that, and I was like, well, it's actually, I mean, the right is very sensitive too. Like I will walk more people from a room that are like screaming about how great the president is on the
Yeah.
way out.
Well, because now
And
you're
it's
in.
like
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not even like really making fun of him. There's a joke about like how great he is, followed by he'd still be the funniest one to see get shot
Yeah.
of all time. And these people just, I had to say, I
You can't joke.
kind of
You can't joke. You're not supposed to joke about the president.
Yeah.
Like the Kathy Griffin thing upset a lot of people for some reason. I don't really understand that. I don't think Kathy Griffin's particularly funny,
And
but I don't understand the outrage at that.
that sucked about that is I was excited to see somebody on the left get crushed.
Yeah.
Like that's always fun. Like if somebody that's like a super left-leaning political comic does something that fucks up, like makes fun of like Barron Trump for having autism or something like that, I'm first in line to be like, yo, that really hurt my feelings.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited to see anytime a left-wing person gets in trouble. It's very fun.
It's tough though, because then you do that and you even if you're jokingly pointing fingers, then that's when you bring out the Seth Simons of the world who say, "Oh yeah, well here's what you say."
Yeah.
And then it's a tricky fucking game. But you must be running into the problem now where people think you are like people look at what you say as genuine and they think you're a Trump guy. And now that's am I right? Is that kind of your audience now?
No, that's not my audience. But no,
I should say, are you getting a lot of those people in your audience?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm at a show and I've discussed, like I'll say on stage why I got fired. Like I'll talk about the whole thing, and then after the show, like a dude will just come up to me and be like, "Hey man," and I'll just they'll be like, "These," and I'm like, "All right, thanks, man. Thank you for that. That's very thoughtful." They'll just come up and say a slur at me.
Yeah.
And be like, "Am I right? Fuck them." And I'm like, "No, you got that wrong."
Where's your actual, like, you're pretty much down the middle. I mean, are you even a political guy? Because I've never thought of you as that. Like people tried to pin you as like this. Even the people that said you're this right-wing character, I didn't think they were right because I was like, I listen to that show. I hear you on Legion of Skanks. I've seen you. I saw you open for Dan Soder. I've seen your stand-up. You don't strike me as a political guy either way.
No, I'm not. I'm not really. I mean, I the only reason I didn't vote, I've never voted in my life.
Right.
I'm probably not gonna vote. I think it's all kind of silly. Not voting, but if I don't do the research, I shouldn't be fucking voting. And people do that, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not very political. If I was, I like you said, it's just funny when Trump does well because I'm surrounded by so many people that hate him.
Yeah.
like hate him. Like they cry. They used to cry.
Is
They
that
cried when he won. They were
Oh, it was a fucking meltdown. People were melting down, like
They
humiliating
were
themselves.
adults that cried, and that they also did that in the Philly scene, which is where I was in 2016.
Yeah.
So we were doing shows like that night, and I would go on stage, and then I'd be like, hell yeah, Trump rules, just because I knew the whole room was crying.
Right.
The whole
That's
room is
That's why I'm surprised. I don't know. I heard you say something interesting when you were on Francis's podcast, Francis Ellis. You said that a lot of people say to you, like, hey, listen, it never would have worked out with SNL anyways. You were the wrong guy. And that kind of bothers you a little bit because you're like, hey, give me a chance. Maybe I could have done something different that would have been interesting. And I agree with that. Like, I think you would have been very different and unique on that show. And maybe that's kind of why they brought you in, which makes sense. My question is more, why did you want to be a part of that? Only because it doesn't seem like I know it's a great opportunity, obviously, but it doesn't seem like something I would expect you to go for.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't really go for it. It was fucking given to me. Like,
right.
They saw me do stand up. SNL's people were interested. Then they invited me to come audition, and I had a really good audition. And then they were like, hey, we're going to fucking cast you on the show. That was all in like a span of like 3 weeks.
Yeah. So they really wanted you.
They did want me. And Lauren Michaels was the one that I believe was like really like I don't know. I think he kind of wanted the show to not be as soft as it is anymore. I don't know. Not that I'm some tough guy, but it'd be nice to have like a fucking guy on the show.
A different voice, yeah. And a real stand-up, and yeah. And that's, I mean, it's strange. It makes sense if Lauren wanted to do that. If that's the case, I don't know why the show's gone in the direction it has. But are you resentful at all of him? Because Lauren Michaels is powerful enough that he could have waited out that controversy. It wasn't going to be the end of the world. And he could have kept you on the show. And the first week on Update, you could have done something funny about it or whatever.
Yeah, that was kind of what his idea was like, if we can get to the first week and have you on camera, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like once everybody sees that you're just, a fucking idiot, everything's all right.
Right.
But no, I don't think he could, because I think it was higher than SNL. I think it was NBC was dealing with a lot of like Me Too shit. NBC had been going through a wave of horrible backlash, and then the whole world surrounding SNL is like theater kids and improv people, so it's just a world of the biggest pussies on earth.
Yeah.
So if somebody's getting in trouble, a straight white guy getting in trouble for saying a racial slur, they are gonna. I mean, that's their Super Bowl. This is the moment.
I know you've talked about the fucking SNL.
So they would cry about it for as long as I was there, they would cry.
I don't want to keep hammering the SNL thing because I know you talked about it a million times, but there's just two aspects of it that I'm curious about that I haven't heard you talk about really. One is Chris Gethard. I heard him on I think it was Jim and Sam he went on, and you were pretty brutal to him in a podcast. And believe me, I've done a million podcasts that no one was listening to, and your mindset is, well, no one's gonna ever fucking listen to this. I can say whatever I want. So you're shitting on a guy who's famous. You're not famous, and you're saying things that you wouldn't say to his face. Obviously, that's just kind of how it is. I heard him on Jim and Sam, and I was surprised how hurt he was by the things you said. Considering you don't know each other, you're at the time at least lower in comedy than he is. I was surprised. Did that hit you at all or no?
I had called him like the next day, the day the whole thing went nuts during the SNL thing. It had come up that I had shit on him and called him gay and all this stuff. And I guess I was just fucked up talking shit about a special I didn't like, and I was being a little jealous fucker.
Right.
And so I called him the next day and explained that. And we had a long conversation. He was talking shit to me, and I just took it because I was wrong. I was talking shit behind a guy's back. It's pretty.
Yeah, but were you wrong? You know what I mean? Were you wrong? You're just talking about a special you didn't like. You wouldn't. I mean, if you were talking face to face, you did. I mean, if you guys were talking face to face, yeah. But if I found a podcast where someone was saying that about me, I don't think I would find that person and be like, "Hey, why did you say this shit?"
Yeah, well, we're different than him.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's not a knock on him or us, but
Yeah.
it's true. Like, I mean, I've had to, like, it was funny. It was genuinely weird to hear him talk to me about people talking shit. It's like, dude, the New York Times is talking shit about me right now.
Right.
Like, I had one podcast that no one ever listened to.
Yeah.
I'm
The front page
on
of some
CNN.
website was what, you, Michael Jackson, and R. Kelly or something?
Yeah,
Like
I mean, it's
three
nonstop.
the three
And it's
worst
like,
people on the planet?
yeah, and but no, with him it was like, yeah, I thought we kind of sorted things out, and I think we did. I mean, me and him were kind of cool, but then I did hear the Jim and Sam thing, and he was hurt because not just me, he just feels the comedy scene doesn't respect him.
Right.
So when he heard me say that, it was playing off of pretty big insecurities that he already had.
Sure.
Despite the fact that, and he was right about some things. He was like, yeah, nobody came to bat for me after he talked shit. And it's like, there's two sides to that. One side is, yeah, obviously no one's going to call you and be like, how are you? When my thing is the thing that, like,
Yeah, you were the guy in trouble.
I'm the one in trouble. Nobody's going to
Yeah.
call him and be like, yeah, but,
Yeah, are you okay? Yeah.
and he also had a good point that maybe if he still had his show, a lot more people would be calling, which is true because a lot of those people are fake pussies. So I think that really fucking got to him.
Yeah.
And Gethard's a good dude, and yeah, I like
he
him.
seems like a nice enough guy. I was surprised.
He is.
He said something on Jim and Sam where he's like, Shane called me and I was with my kid, so it's like I have more important things. It's like, well, you seem upset about it, so I don't know what is really more important. But the other guy I wanted to ask you about was Seth Simons. I know that you probably don't want to give him too much credit. He's the guy that exposed you. He was basically ready, right? He was ready to go with a bunch of clips. Anytime you got ready to go?
Some kid from this improv theater in Philly, I guess, is the story, had sent him a clip of me on the podcast as soon as I got it.
Right.
So
I see. So
Seth becomes even more talentless. He didn't even discover the tape.
He didn't even do his own journalism?
I mean, can you imagine, dude? Look, I try not to. This isn't coming from a place of like hate or anger or anything. It's just, can you imagine being a fucking comedy journalist?
Well, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm a guy who I know I couldn't do stand up, so I just want to talk about it. But
all right, well, you're fucking blind.
Yeah. Oh, all right, that's fair.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, I'm saying, imagine being a fucking someone genuinely, like, I went to Penn to study journalism, and now I write about
like a critic. Yeah.
Write about workers' rights at an improv theater. It's like, God damn, dude, you should kill yourself. But I just, he's whatever. I never really gave a fuck about him. He's just a dork. Who cares?
Yeah. But did you listen to the Comedy Cellar podcast he did?
Yeah, of course.
Were you? I was disappointed for you. Maybe I'm fucking crazy, but my thought was that they were going to be hammering him for you almost the entire time, because I don't know about his beef with Manny Gnome from the Cellar.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. What I knew about was you, and that seems like the more obvious go-to angle.
Yeah.
Were you disappointed they didn't bring you up at all, or did you not give a fuck?
I was a little disappointed, but then I went and did an episode shortly after with Gnome.
Right.
About the episode. I just kind of was a little aggressive about, like, why are you even giving this fucking guy a platform, etc. Or not giving him a platform, because obviously give him a fucking platform, but, like, why are you bringing him into a comedy club and like being buddies with him, and like you didn't even but then they never released me and Gnome's episode on the Cellar podcast.
Why not?
I think, I don't know, it wasn't really the best look for either of us. Like, I came in there kind of fired up, and I think I don't know, I think it was just a bad look for everybody. Also, at one point I did say, so we were talking about people that got canceled, and I said something along the lines of like, well, they brought up Roseanne about how like said something about Valerie Jarrett.
Right.
You remember that?
Yeah,
and they were talking about it, and I was like, well, did you guys see the picture?
Right.
She does. I mean, she looks like
Right.
It's not.
It's just true. Yeah. Roseanne,
Like,
I genuinely believe that if you watch that video of Roseanne
when she's like,
yelling,
"I thought the bitch was white." Yeah,
yes, then there's nothing
yeah,
else. There's no other evidence you need. She 100% thought she was white. That was a woman on the brink of insanity telling
yeah,
the truth. Like, there's no doubt about it.
yeah. And it was also like, so I brought that up, and they were like, "Whoa, hey, whoa, whoa," and then for the rest of the episode, they just acted like that. They were like, "You're not allowed to say black people look like apes." And I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, dude. That's not what I
Right.
did."
But yeah, that's not even what
And
Roseanne
hey,
did.
you're the one who's saying Valerie Jarrett. If you name one black person, they're all black people. You fucking
Yes.
weirdo. What are you
Yes.
doing? Why are you making this weird?
Right.
And so I think they were upset about that because I didn't shut the fuck up about that because they kept saying they were offended about that, and I was like, are you offended? Where was this energy when everybody that made this Comedy Cellar famous was here?
Yeah.
Where were you? Were you clutching your pearls when Patrice O'Neal was here?
Right.
Now, or is it now that Comedy Central's cameras are here, you guys all of a sudden developed a fucking very biased, I don't know, whatever.
Is
It
that how
doesn't matter.
is that how it's kind of become in the Comedy Cellar? I have not been there, but obviously I grew up on Opie and Anthony and Tough
Yeah,
Crowd and all that shit. So that's my that's what I know of it. But has it become
I'm
really?
not past there. I'm like I was rarely there. I've only been in New York for like a year and a half. Actually, close to 2 this summer. That'll be fun. But I never really went to the Cellar that much because I wasn't past there. So I felt like a weirdo just hanging out and lingering. And
You've had kind of a
it's funny
crazy.
right
You've been on
before.
a kind of a rocket. If you've only been in New York a year and a half, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. It was all literally I got everything in 1 year in New York. So
Yeah.
it's been wild. And I think I was about to get past at the Cellar, but then this thing happened. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard the Cellar is, it's not what it used to be in that sense, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well, I
enough
mean,
about it.
yes, Skankfest is the new home of
Yeah.
everyone, right? Louis J. Gomez is creating the underground railroad for comics now.
Yeah, maybe.
Something like that.
I don't know.
What do you think? Are you so when you're kind of at your lowest with all the SNL stuff and you're reading all these awful headlines? Is it that
Yeah,
how much worse is it that Louis J. Gomez is the guy in the front lines defending you on Twitter?
that was, yeah, that
That's
sucked. I
it's
made fun of
dangerous
him.
ground.
Well, yeah, that's what happens. It's a bunch of people. So that, yeah, Michael Che put it the best when he was like, "These guys are gonna put a bill. They're running it up on your tab. Like you
Right.
can say whatever you want, and then the only response is gonna be like, well, Shane's a piece of shit. So like Lewis would be out there talking a ton of shit, and then everybody on Twitter would just respond with Shane is racist. Like he's not getting touched. He's not getting hit at all.
Oh, so you didn't
So
even
yeah,
like
they
that he was
were
doing that?
no, no. Of
I
course,
guess
Lewis is
I
one of
guess in
my
my mind that's not the guy you want defending you, but I thought like, oh, that's a
yeah.
good friend at least. But you didn't even want him
No,
speaking for you.
no. Lewis is one of my best friends, and I'm
Yeah.
happy he did that, and I do respect it. But yeah, he wasn't. That doesn't help.
I can't.
You
I
know?
cannot imagine. I can't imagine Louis J. Gomez helping any situation
Yeah,
especially involving SNL.
yeah. There was nothing Lewis could say that would have helped.
Does that? How long did it take? I think you were on Legion of Skanks, or I saw you somewhere in the Gas Digital world relatively soon after
Yeah.
that. How long did it take? Like, were you ever hesitant to say maybe I shouldn't go back and do these shows, or was that not never a problem for you, really?
Yeah, there was a short period because uh, there was still some possibilities that I would come back to SNL.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was going on. So I was like, man, I really shouldn't be on this show. I shouldn't be doing this shit if I want to do that. And then as time went on, I just started doing I mean, I did Legion of Skanks pretty shortly after, I think.
Yeah, within
Which
a
I have
month, I
no,
would say more or less, right?
yeah, all that. But like the thing that also sucks is I did have a show on Compound on Kumia's network,
Right.
and I had quit doing that like 2 or 3 months before SNL. And
Oh,
I was just
I thought
I
you were
was
gonna say he dropped you. I was like, Yukumi can't stand for that horrible
no
racism. Yeah.
no I had quit the show
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 months before, but no one really watched the show enough to notice.
Yeah.
And then once the SNL thing happened, everybody thought I quit because it was a bad look. And that I was like being a pussy. And it's like, no, I just didn't like the show I was doing.
How was did you work with or for Ant at all or no?
It's just basically doing a podcast in a studio. Yeah. Like he's not really there, but I have done a couple episodes with him, and he's great.
Yeah, he seems all right. He seems like he's just gotten. He has his demons for sure, but yeah, it seems like his reputation is much worse than him as a guy. But I mean, I don't know the fucking guy. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. He's like a genuinely nice, cool guy, and he's funny as fuck.
Is that the biggest problem now, that people kind of like lump you into a certain cat? Like, do you have you had in your personal life anyone judge you like that or no? Like, just assume you're a racist or?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. In my personal life, like, yeah, if somebody like Googles me.
Yeah. I guess not. You're not being recognized necessarily. Oh, that's the racist comedian. I guess that's
I was getting recognized during the thing. Now it's died down.
Calm down.
Yeah, but it was funny. I would see people because I've talked about this before. I think I'm like one of the first people to get canceled that was broke. I was poor when I got canceled.
Right.
So like I was taking the fucking train. I was taking.
Yeah, you're not like Louis. Like Louis complained about losing $36 million in a day, but he already had money.
Yeah, you can get canceled and then like take your helicopter up to the Hamptons and lick your wounds. I had to take the fucking subway to 30 Rock to get fired. Like I was taking the subway to and from Lorne Michaels' office.
Well, that was the next thing I wanted to get into with you is how, I don't know how you're doing financially, but there's got to be a lot of comics now, especially people, they're talking about this lasting to 2021 where there's no live events for another year and all this shit.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? Like what the fuck is happening and what's going to happen with comedy? Because I imagine we're going to lose a few.
Yeah, and that's not such a bad thing.
No,
we could lose. we could trim a lot of the fat when it comes to stand up. Luckily, me and Matt McCusker have a podcast that makes money. So go to
Ben
Patreon.
Shane Secret Podcast. Check it out.
Ben Shane Secret Podcast on Patreon. So that's how we're staying up right now. Also, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of people that rely entirely on stand up to make money, and yeah, that's fucking gone for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Man. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like I heard, I don't know if you're friendly with Mike Cannon at all.
Yeah, I am.
But I heard him. He was on a podcast I heard recently, and he had a kid over the summer, and he said that both him and his wife have jobs where that are based around live. Like I don't know what his wife does, but they're based around live events. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. That's got to be miserable.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, that's
just stay out in Doug Stanhope's compound, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ride it out here. I don't know. There's so many guys that do rely entirely on because nobody gets a living wage off their podcast. Like only a few.
Yeah, unless you're Rogan or something. I mean, there's some under that.
No,
level.
We do. Yeah. Me and Matt, which is I'm sure you guys are fucking fine, but I'm saying like.
Well, we're employees too. We're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're not out on our own. The guys on Patreon, it's got to be a struggle because then you even get to the point where it's like, okay, are the donors to Patreon going to be able to afford this the entire time? You know?
Yeah. For how long can they hold it? Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I was poor the whole time, so I'll be all right.
All right, good.
I just got rich this year. Well, not rich, but by my standards.
Yeah.
Rich, bro.
Filthy fucking rich.
Over $800. I'm rich.
Whew. Well, honestly, you're making more than me then, so good for you.
Fuck yeah.
I mentioned it when I introduced you, but you played for Army, or did you ever actually play for Army?
No, I never played. I quit right away.
You never played, and you quit. You quit West Point also.
Army is West Point, so I went to West Point.
But you quit. No, I know you quit football, but you quit.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to be a cunt there. My
bad. Excuse me, Michael.
Same thing.
Army is West Point. I'm actually a decorated veteran.
No, I quit Army like right away, and then I quit Elon. I played one season at Elon, and I just sucked. So I had enough.
You had no interest in doing it. You don't strike me as the guy that would be into that, but whatever. Were you back then? Like, did you really
What,
think
into
you wanted to
football?
do that? No, into being in the military.
Oh, fuck no.
You were just
No,
doing it because that's where you got in.
even back then, hardly. I was
Yeah.
doing it because I wanted to play Division I football.
But then I also
And
heard you
it was a
say,
cool team.
that the places that scouted you were like Army and Temple, and then all the Ivy League schools. So were you a great
Yeah.
student?
No, I wasn't. But even if you're on the borderline of being a Division I athlete,
Yeah.
if you have remotely okay grades, you get into every school.
That's what you should have done. Is gone to. You would have been great at Harvard. I don't know if you know the population ratio there, Shane, but they would have loved
No
your podcast.
scholarships. No
Yes.
scholarships.
That's strange. The route your life could have taken. Like if you were a West Point football player.
I think either way, I would have.
Imagine that Shane Gillis compared to the guy that was reading fucking CNN in September.
I know. I think either way, my life was destined to be tarnished in CNN.
Yeah. Either way, you
If
would have
I'd
been
gone to
right
West
here
Point-
talking to me.
Yeah, West Point, maybe I would have tried to be a politician and then definitely would have said like the N-word during a speech.
That would have been great. I would have voted for you. First guy I ever voted for, Shane Gillis.
An accidental N-word during this. Just say it like Bernie when that bird landed on his thing.
You get in trouble. Trump won't even touch you. You're one of those guys.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you doing this. I don't want to keep you too long, but
no, I just feel like I feel like shit. So hopefully this wasn't totally unfunny. I've never taken a sleeping pill, and I had no idea this was the type of. It feels almost like a hangover. It feels like I'm high.
If there's any show you can be fucked up for, it's this one. No one, Shane. No one. I guarantee you, no one will find anything you said on this podcast and ever use it against you. That I can guarantee you. You're finally in a safe place.
They can't. No matter what happens, they got me once. It's double jeopardy. You can't get me saying
never again.
You literally can't.
All right, buddy. Maybe when you're in Boston, let's do this, and I'll see you at Laugh Boston or wherever you're at.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast on Patreon. Subscribe if you can, because it's very funny. It's well worth the price of admission. Anything else you're doing right now, or is that pretty much?
That's it, baby.
All right, brother. Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. You go check it out. Shane Gillis, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you next week.
Awesome. Thanks, bro.